Hello and welcome. The program is the Gavel and I am Lanre Lasese. Now, the rainy season is here and it has led to floods in some parts of the country. Resuming this week, federal lawmakers in both chambers considered the matter and took some resolutions. Is the Nigerian police force adequately funded? Well, I'm sure if we put that to a vote, the result will be very clear. This week, a public hearing on a bill for the funding of the Nigerian police force took place in the House of Representatives. That report is ahead. What else do we have for you? We have a lot on some of the decisions taken by your representatives. Just stay with us. Our first report looks at the motion on the floods.
Many Nigerians would not forget last weekend in a hurry. Nigerians in different parts of the country had to contend with flooding as a result of heavy rainfall. Reports say more than 15 people lost their lives in Tafa and Suleja local government areas of Niger State as fierce floods ravaged homes and farmlands after heavy rainfall on Sunday, July the 9th. At the weekend in Victoria Island, Lekki and its environs in Lagos, flood water entered homes and shops, in some cases destroying properties. The Lagos State government has explained that the floods are caused by the high tide of the lagoon, slowing down the flow of rainfall from drainage channels. But residents and environmentalists have blamed government for failing to take proactive steps to prevent what has become a yearly predictable problem.
It is a clear confirmation of the fact that
federal lawmakers expressed their concern over the magnitude of destruction from the floods.
Worried that the recent flood disasters in the country appear to have consistently caught victims off guard in spite of early weather forecasts, including prediction of flood, thunderstorm, and other extreme weather conditions by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. The Senate is alarmed that the victims of these flood incidents in Suleja and Tafa local governments and other parts of the country are presently at the risk of contracting waterborne diseases such as cholera and even malaria as a result of the devastation caused by the flood to their sanitation and immediate surroundings. What has happened in Suleja is a clear confirmation of the fact that this is something that will require a much more robust, action from the part of government so that we can prevent the very unfortunate loss of lives and livelihood of our citizens.
Lawmakers also observed a minute silence to mourn victims of the floods in different parts of the country. The Senate asked the federal government to release funds from the Ecological Fund to the Niger State government for the immediate construction of drainage systems in Suleja, Tafa, and other flood-prone areas of Niger State. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives is to set up an ad hoc committee to liaise with relevant government agencies to find a lasting solution to the problem of floods in the country.
We have agencies of oceanography and all of that, climate change and the rest of it, to now single out and narrow the issue to a state I know that your brother even is resident in. To narrow these issues to a state is becoming too partisan. We are here to address an issue that affects everybody in Nigeria. And under the Constitution, and which I did quote, the security and welfare of Nigerians is our primary purpose of government.
Both chambers of the National Assembly have directed the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to provide relief materials for flood victims. Meanwhile, the Senate is investigating the death of Chiamaka De Freitas, who died after giving birth in Medical Arts Center Hospital in Lagos on March 27th this year. A federal lawmaker from her constituency, Senator Chukwuemeka Uwajumogu, is asking the Senate to investigate if her death was caused by negligence on the part of the hospital. In an interview with journalists, the lawmaker says the Senate would also review the practice of the hospital to understand what went wrong.
We have this petition from the family And we have just submitted it to the Senate to enable the Senate to investigate and find out, if this hospital had done the proper thing, and if the doctors that conducted the surgery were qualified enough to, conduct the surgery, and if the hospital should be held liable for the death of this woman. If the surgery that took place was a proper surgery, because today, this is a woman that attended the entire antenatal in that same hospital. They had the opportunity to evaluate the lady and know whether the lady, had any issues before the surgery. So if they conducted the surgery and the woman come out and was bleeding and they couldn't stop the bleeding, they should have taken her to a hospital with higher facilities, or brought in people that had the capacity to manage it. But they refused and neglected to do that, and now the lady is dead. So the family has been thrown into confusion. The young husband is in the hospital, is not well, and we just want justice for this woman.